Hello and welcome to the Crystal Stairs hands-on learning activity. So today Ms. Lupe and I read the All Together Quilt, and we're here to just share a really simple activity. So thank you for staying and joining us for this part.
Thank you for inviting me. This is lovely, and I really am excited to see all the steps in actually doing this activity.
So I like how you shared that you have a family quilt that your grandmother made and that you just kept it in the family.
It's preserved, and I think this is a good opportunity to start bringing it down to our children and actually let them know what they could actually do, even with the simple activity.
Yeah, so I made, well, I didn't make it, but I had a quilt made for my dad with all his old t-shirts from his vacation places. So he has a quilt with the Bahamas and all of the places he's been. So I thought that was a really cool way to capture. I think for those of you working with children or even with your own children, if your children have t-shirts or other like blankets or other things that they've outgrown that you want to preserve, putting them together on a quilt is a fun way to keep it as a keepsake. But for the sake of today's video, we wanted to show you something super simple, something that you can do. This book really speaks to community, building a sense of community. I love how they had various members of their community coming together. They had seniors, they had children, and so you can make this an extended project to do with your families. You can give all the families their own quilt or their own square. So for today we're going to do, Miss Lupe, I wanted to just show a little sample of how to do this with paper.
Yes.
Have you ever done this with paper?
You know what? I think I have, but when I was very young, but this looks really nice.
Okay, so this is just like some scrapbooking paper. It has two different sides. I loved it because it's already in the squares. So what I would do is make sure you find some pattern paper. Even if you want to have the children draw, there's so many different variations to how you do this. As I always say, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You really just want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to feel seen. At the end of it, it's going to be something that represents all of us. So for instance, if you're doing this as a classroom, each child can have their own square. So we're going to show you really quickly what to do. So the first thing I'm going to ask is for you to select one of the papers that you would like to put for your square.
I would like to use this one.
Okay, so Miss Lupe and I are going to finish out, we've already started this quilt, and we're going to finish out the last square of the paper quilt. And in the story, they work together. Somebody picked one thing, somebody picked the other, and they sewed it together. So Miss Lupe is going to glue hers on. I think it's fun to have opportunities where you bring the families into the classroom as well and give opportunities for just to showcase the family working together. So one thing I forgot to mention to you, I can't remember if I told you this, but this story is based on a true story. The All Together Quilt was something that a library in a certain community did.
Wow.
And they started working on just intergenerationally bringing the community together and creating a quilt and hanging it in the library.
Yeah, it actually helps out the community, and it brings a sense of togetherness, and also actually even a small family, because a community is a small family of a diverse, population. So we want to make sure that we're embracing everyone's differences, and this is what this quilt is representing actually.
Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to put a hole here. So there's different ways you can do this. We have just these little ring binders. You can get these from office supply stores. You can use yarn with the children. This is really going to be an extended activity, so it doesn't have to be completed in one sitting. We just, for the sake of the video, wanted to show you and finish it out. So let's go ahead and attach it here.
Also, I think these squares, I've seen them also in discount school supplies.
Yes.
So discount stores too, they're on the clearance aisle.
I love the collaboration that's happening right now. This is what you want. This is what you want to provide opportunities for with your groups as well.
It's not.
So this one doesn't want to hold.
No, it doesn't. Let me see if you try it. I'll hold it.
All right.
There you go.
There we have it. An all-together quilt using paper.
Yes.
Um,
And I think the different patterns is beautiful because everyone took part of this activity. So everyone has a piece, and when every child actually sees it, they're gonna know this is a piece of them. This is a part of their collaboration and their art.
and they have ownership of it
Yes.
because they worked on it together. Before we go, I just wanted to share this. When you read the story to children, go ahead and share the other parts that are in the back. It gives more detail together. And then if your children are really interested in quilting, go ahead and check out the website, thealltogetherquilt.com. All right, so we thank you for joining us. I'll just put this back here on the shelf. We would love to see your quilts. If you work on any paper quilts or if you actually make quilts, we would love to see them. Send your pictures to tgardner@crystalstairs.org. And thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you here again on the next First Fridays. Thank you.